everyone. Welcome back to the Blossom Podcast, where we talk about weathering through seasons of life. My name is Chelsea.
And I'm Charvi. Join us to explore the challenges, experiences, and triumphs of navigating our 20s, girlhood, and everything in between.
So grab your snacks, make your tea, and get comfy as we dive into today's episode, where we talk about bullying and insecurities. A very heavy topic for us today.
Yeah.
So I think we should first talk about our own personal experiences with bullying. Would you like to start off first?
Yeah, so I feel like bullying has many different types. So I feel like my own experience kind of is more on the exclusion of people from groups. Like I feel like it touches on that. Because when I was in secondary school, so basically we're from the same school as we mentioned before, and it's a girls'
secondary school.
and it's like affiliated to, it's primary. It's like it has a primary school that it's affiliated to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
a lot of the girls that came from there, like
I was one of them.
Actually, it's not just one school; it's like two schools.
Yeah.
Or is it more?
I think there's quite a few schools that were affiliated to that because it's
it's within that
we
umbrella of
reveal?
schools.
Okay,
We're
then
not gonna reveal our school in case
we're not gonna reveal for legal purposes.
and privacy reasons.
Yeah.
But basically a lot of these people that came into the secondary school already knew each other, so that meant that there were of course already cliques formed and like friend groups already have been established.
Yeah.
So as someone who was not from one of these affiliated schools, I was basically like an outsider to this whole environment. And I remember like the first 2 years of secondary school life was very difficult for me because the class that I was in had a lot of these friend groups, and it was really difficult to fit in when obviously I haven't had any of those like similar experiences as these people did. And it was really I felt really alone. And it's like people would willingly like exclude you. Like sometimes it's like they don't know, but sometimes it's like they willingly just don't want you in any group setting kind of thing. So yeah, I feel like that part of my life would probably be the most how do I say, like it's not the it's the part that
lowest.
I feel like it is one of the worst parts of my schooling life, and it's like socially it was the worst
Yeah.
part. Yeah.
It makes you not look forward to going to school as well.
Yeah. And it's like every day is the same. It's like what do you even have to look forward to? And it's like you're on your own, and it's and I feel like sometimes when people talk about bullying, it does not, they don't usually talk about exclusion. They talk about like directly harming someone, but
Yeah.
indirectly harming someone could include exclusion. So that would be my own like personal experience.
Right.
Yeah, but afterwards when I went into sec 3 and sec 4, like we changed classes.
Yeah.
So it was like a whole group of like new people, and I feel like it was much easier to gel well with those people. So life was like way better for those 2 years. How about you though?
Well, I would say actually my experience with bullying was more in primary school. And the thing is that because it happened in primary school where the age range was like 6 to 12 years old, so a lot of those memories of me being bullied, I don't really remember exactly why I was being bullied. I just remember I think it was in primary, I think it was in primary 1 or 2. I had this group of friends who I think I was going through a tough time, and then suddenly they just turned on me. Like just one random day, they just decided I'm not going to be your friend anymore. And I feel like that's how my abandonment issues started to come in, because it's like, oh shit, what if I do something and then that person will just leave me? And I feel like that was the very beginning of that, because ever since then I would be given a lot of hot and cold behavior and inconsistent treatment every time that I saw those girls. So there would be one day where they would suddenly be friends with me, and I'm like, oh, okay, we're like chill again, that's great. Then like the next day they suddenly just like give me the whole silent treatment again,
Cold shoulder.
the cold shoulder, and I'm like, oh, what did I do again? Like what like I just started questioning everything that I was doing, and I started to wonder, maybe it's best that I just be by myself. And I feel like that's how my introverted self just started to come out even more all throughout my primary school years. And I don't even think that even had any friends in primary school at all
What? That's
because of this.
insane.
At least maybe like one.
Huh?
Yeah. No, literally,
Like all the way to P6?
like all the way to P6, I was always by
So
myself.
sad.
Yeah. It was just it's kind of crazy thinking about it now, because I think I'm surrounded by so many solid friends, including her. We found each other finally in
Found
life.
each other. Like some kind of soulmate, like,
She's my
bruh.
soulmate.
Bruh.
No, but yeah, like I just remember primary school being one of the lowest points in my life, because socially, at least, kind of similar, as to you have said it earlier, that yeah, I just didn't really have any solid friendships in primary school, and I just remembered thinking that um anything that I was doing, anything that I would say, no one, I'm just gonna end up repelling whoever it is that I would end up being friends with, which ended up being really damaging to me and my mindset towards so many things now. I think I'm definitely um healed parts of that already, now that I'm older and now that I'm more aware of where it stems from and how to recover from that. But a lot of it still comes from my current stable and healthier um relationships with people, because at any point in time I will just start overthinking and overanalyzing everything that I'm saying or doing, and ask myself, will they leave me because of this? Will we end up like no longer being friends anymore one fine day because of something that I said? And it's just a lot.
Yeah, and it
So
really puts you in like an anxious state, like
yeah.
all the damn time. And it
Yeah.
really has like, it's just fight or flight, like all, like it feels so, like you're always at a heightened state, like
Yeah.
something's gonna happen. And I feel like
Yeah.
for you, since it happened like much younger, I feel like
Mm.
the effects would probably kind
Yeah.
of last longer, because it's like
It happened in my formative years.
yeah, like it
Yeah.
actively like really developing as a child, and like 6
Yeah.
is like so young, like
Yeah.
it really like
And that was like the
forms.
way that I perceived the world at that
Yeah,
when I
I
was
think it's
as
harder
young
to
as
break
6.
out of, because that's it happened during that phase of your
Yeah.
life. Yeah, and that's really sad, girl.
I did not know that you didn't know that I didn't have
Wait,
like
I
any friends
knew.
in primary
Wait, but I
school.
thought you would have like at least a few friends, at
I
least
don't
like
have
by
like a few
P6.
friends. It was just like a desk mate, and I'll just like, hey. But that's the thing. I was so introverted, and I was so shy and so intimidated to make new friends, that I'll just often just like be in my own little world, and then, immediately after school I don't have any friends to hang out with. I'll just go.
My God, but who the hell like hung out with their friends after school?
I don't even know. They're all, I
Like
mean,
at like that age,
yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
what these people.
Yeah. Aside from maybe like CCA or something,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know. But aside from that, I don't think I've ever made any like core friendships um then. And it's kind of ironic, because I remember when I was in secondary school, because I came from an affiliated primary school, and that's how we got into the secondary school that we both ended up being in. And then that the a few of those, actually no, all of those girls, they all ended up in the
Yeah, yeah,
same
yeah,
secondary
yeah.
school too. And then I remember bringing this up to them before, and I was like saying that, oh, it was just like for fun, because I think we've all gone past that point. In primary school, like people in primary school just have no
No,
filter
you know
at
what?
all.
Sometimes I really think about this. Like, kids have no, like, why do they have so much audacity to be that, like,
Because they just have no
evil? Like,
filter.
no, but it's
They
like,
just do whatever
how are you
is.
like that? Like, I don't understand, because some of them really have such foul behavior, and it like shocks me, because
I mean,
even
like
though
it harms other people.
yeah, and not just that, it's just like some people are just downright mean at that
Yeah.
age, and I'm like, who is teaching you this? Like, how are you?
Parents.
No, but I don't know. Like, might not just be the parents too. Like, I don't know what the environment is, but it just you're just a child. Like, I don't understand where it's
Yeah.
coming from, you know?
Or it's yeah, so it's not just the parents, but it's everything that they're being exposed to, whether it's whatever
Yeah.
they see on TV, whatever they see on social media, or the behavior and the attitudes that the rest of the people that they are surrounded with, they all have an influence. Especially when you are a child, you're like a sponge. You take in everything that you are surrounded by. So I think the reason why they are like that at that age, and they just, and the fact that it's coupled with like no filter, is the reason why they're so brutal and so mean at that age, which is really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I feel bad for them or I'm like I want to square up or something, you know. Oh
Yeah.
my god, like because I don't know. I'm just gonna briefly touch on this, but my sister was quite badly bullied, and as
Mm.
a older sister, like I felt so bad for her because, I mean, I didn't have an experience near as bad as hers, and I mean, I don't
Yeah.
think I can get into it, but
Mm.
it's just it really made me because I don't know. I used to think that, you know, all kids are just like gonna be about the same, but I feel like as the new generation is coming out, they're just becoming more foul. Like, I don't, because the things that they did were like, I couldn't even imagine like that kind of stuff being done
Happening in our
in our
in
like environment when we were that age. I'm just like, what is happening? Is it like parenting issues or is it like what is out there in the world right now, like the internet, or I don't know, but it's just
mm.
so scary. And for her, I feel like especially for bullying, I feel like the people of authority should really do something, and especially so if the child comes up to them and tells them straight up like this is happening to me, and like they should take some action, but they didn't do anything, they just turned a blind eye. And
Mm.
it's just horrible. Like you're an adult, you should
Yeah.
protect these children. And
Yeah.
it's like, what, you're not just there to teach content, you are shaping these children's like experiences at such a young age.
Yeah.
Like this really defines who they are like in the future. Like definitely some parts that they've learned in primary school or secondary school like does come into play in your mature life.
Do you think you've ever experienced that? Have you ever um approached the teacher and told them that you had this bullying, you're experiencing bullying, and they brought
Actually,
it up?
right, I don't know if this was a dream or if it actually happened because
Uh-huh.
it was so long ago, like I cannot really like remember, but I feel like it did happen
Okay.
in one of the primary schools I was in. Okay, side note, I was in like 4 primary schools. Okay, so like because
That's crazy.
I changed my
Girlie went on a world tour.
no, I changed house, so I changed school. Like
Yeah.
my parents didn't want me to travel alone by myself, so we just
Mm.
changed house.
Yeah.
And there was this time where I told the teacher like nobody likes me in this class, like I have no friends or something like that. And then she was like, everybody who's Charvie's friend, raise your hand. And like these
Wait.
betrayers, like half the class raised their hands, and I'm like, since when?
Wait, I cannot believe she did that.
I know.
What? Why did she
That's
just
why, like, it sounds so ridiculous.
That's so weird.
It sounds
That's
so
so
ridiculous
odd.
that sometimes I think it was not real. Like, it was in my
You
head.
thought it was a dream?
I like, it's so ridiculous that I can't tell that it's like real or not.
No, I don't understand, because like people can literally, like, all your classmates could have just been like, oh yeah, I am her friend, but I'm not actually, just because I don't want to get into trouble.
Exactly.
What was
like, she
your-
was
what
trying
was
to
your-
prove a point that you do have friends. Like, you're just overreacting or something like that. But I'm like, girl, I know who's my friend and who's not. Like, what?
Yeah,
right now?
exactly. That's so
I can't
weird. That's
deal.
such an odd way of handling the fact that
Oh my
when
god.
you
I
told
just
her.
remembered. Okay, but this is like, okay, I don't know if this was like bullying or anything, but there was this time when I was in an exam and I was done with my paper. So I mean, after you're done with the paper, this like you're just gonna lay on your desk, zone out or something, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
just keep reading your paper.
Yeah.
And I just put my head down to one side. Of course, I'm not gonna suffocate myself in like in my own arms, you know.
Yeah.
So I was just like looking this way, and then the teacher thought I was cheating. Okay, like this is not about bullying, but it's just like something that popped up in my head.
Oh my
What is
God.
that? Okay,
You
I
think
don't
teachers bully?
know. It's either the teacher said that I was cheating, or the girl that was beside me said that I was looking at her paper and she told the teacher.
Mm.
it's either it's so long ago. Like I
No,
was
you're
like,
just like trying to rest and get some like
shut
catch some
eye.
Z's.
Yeah, I'm just trying to catch some Z's, and this girl out here trying to accuse me of a crime or something. Like, what is your problem?
Oh my
Just some
god.
people, like, what is your like? I'm not trying to copy your paper. Your answers are probably all wrong. Like,
Yeah.
just get out of my sight. Oh my god,
No.
help me. Oh
Oh
my
my gosh.
god.
Okay, yeah.
Like, what is that? Where's the proof? Where's the proof?
Where's the proof? I see none.
Oh my god, it's like getting on my nerves. Oh my god, like I feel like these educators need to be a little bit more discerning sometimes.
Mm,
Maybe they're better now, but
yeah.
back then it was foul behavior.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, but I kind of just remember that in primary school when I was experiencing being bullied, um I think it came to a point where I just really started to like psychoanalyze their behavior so much that I even, cuz we have a guidance counselor,
Wait,
and
whose behavior?
anytime like the bully's behavior. I'm not going to say who, but like yeah.
Tell me later.
But yeah, I kept psychoanalyzing every little thing that they were doing, to the point that when I went to the guidance counselor, like right after recess, because you can visit the guidance counselor at any time, and then like after recess I just told my classmate that, oh, you can let the teacher know that I'm just at the guidance counselor, I really like going through stuff and I really need to
Oh my
sort it
god, but
out.
sorry to interrupt, but do you remember how taboo that was? Everybody would be like,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
she's
yeah,
crazy!
yeah, yeah, yeah.
She's crazy! Okay, but yeah, continue.
Yeah, so I went to the guidance counselor and then we sat down. And I was like, I was so distraught. I was so like solemn and everything. And then the guidance counselor was like, so what's up? Like, what's wrong? Tell me what's going on. And I was like, so my bully, he didn't look at me.
That's hilarious! She didn't even spare me a
She didn't
glance.
look at me. I waved. She saw.
Oh wait, that's quite disrespectful though.
Yeah. Oh.
Like you see someone waving and you don't wave back.
Yeah. So I think I did say something like that. Then the guidance okay, so now I'm starting to second guess whether like was I being gaslit then?
No, because it's so long ago. Like,
Yeah,
I
it was
can't
so long
remember the
ago, so I don't really
details.
remember, but I do remember like waving or like saying hi or show like saying like what's up, or something. What's up?
What's up?
And then I think she like saw, but then she just like continued walking. Which
God.
I don't know if it was on purpose or if it's
Yeah.
is it on purpose or I just didn't see it, because sometimes it does happen where I do feel like there is someone waving, but we were quite close also. It
Because
wasn't that
some
far away.
people act like they didn't see it, but they saw it. And I hate it when
Ah.
people do that. Like, when you say something, but they just don't reply.
Yeah.
Like, it's either they can't do two things at once, or it's like they're actively like ignoring you.
Yeah.
Or they didn't hear you. But if I'm like this close to you and you didn't hear me, you need to get your ears checked. Like, what is that? Did you like clog them or something? What is that?
All that earwax getting to your head now, huh?
What the hell?
Yeah. Yeah,
Then you
it's so
start to think-
disrespectful.
You start to think like, did they really not hear me, or are they actively
It
ignoring
messes
me?
with your head.
And then if you think they're ignoring you, then like, why are they ignoring me? I
Yeah.
didn't do anything, but did I?
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god.
So that was the whole thought process that I had, and I think I tried to unpack all of that with the guidance counselor.
I
But
was self-aware.
yeah. But I think at that point in time, she might have thought that it was a bit ridiculous. So I think I just
No.
ended up, I don't know if she was gaslighting me or maybe it really was as trivial as she might think it is. But she was like, so you waved at her and she didn't wave back.
Oh my
She
God,
said it something
but
like
bro,
that.
why is she
I was like, yeah.
why is she inserting her like opinion?
Maybe because
into
she
the
feels
way-
like that's the thing, I don't really know, because I feel like now that people are starting to talk a little bit more about like these micro actions that actually mean a lot more than they really
Yeah.
are. But back then it was like, so you're coming to my office to tell me this? It's like I thought there was like an actual issue here. that there was a bigger bullying issue.
I guess I get it because if it's not big enough, then they can't really like
Yeah.
do a solid action.
But then that's the thing. But that's the thing. So like, do you only go to them once you are like actually being emotionally or verbally or physically abused? So everything else that happens in accumulation before that, does that mean that you shouldn't ask for help or seek for advice or counseling just because it's not as big as you think it is? So that's when you start to think, and you start to grow up with this mentality that like, oh, this is nothing, like it's fine, I can handle it, but you don't realize that it starts to harbor so much in the way that you think and approach everything in life after. And it starts to, and because you are bottling every single thing that has happened to you, that you felt like, oh, it's not that big enough, so I'm not gonna ask for or talk to anyone about it. One day you're just gonna explode, bro.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
you kind of invalidate your own feelings at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah, yeah.
Kind of like in denial, like, oh, they didn't mean that. Like, no,
Yeah.
like in a way, like all in my head, like maybe I'm the problem or something.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Which I think there's a fine line of um like, okay, so when you were bullied at that time, was there anyone that you went to or to talk about this? Like your parents, your sister, any of your
I honestly
friends
didn't really like address it. I
at all?
just let it be. No, because I felt like it was not something that like talked about. It's just like whatever, like what they're gonna do about it anyway. You
Right.
can't change the cliques and like go like the groups or anything anyway.
Yeah.
Nothing much can be done. So
Mm.
I'ma just wait till like Sec 3 until the class like.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
think it just depends.
I feel like the people in the class were not bad people, so it's still okay. Like they weren't like actively like harming me or anything. It's just like like one on one, they didn't seem they seemed okay. But once there was a big group, it's kind of like you just get left out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
So
understand.
I feel like it was not as bad as it could be. So I feel like I could still like function.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I wanted to bring up the point that self awareness, like to some degree, is really good. But like, if you pass that point, like, do you ever hear about people saying like self-aware people? They try to like dissect their own feelings, but they don't
Oh,
feel
right.
the feelings.
Oh, yes. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
I experience that sometimes.
Yeah, it's like you try to be logical about your feelings, but sometimes
Yeah.
you just gotta feel the feeling to
Yeah,
get
yeah, yeah.
over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of how I try my best to anytime that I have any problem or issue or challenge that I am experiencing, I try my best not to intellectualize it immediately, because it can be so harmful sometimes when you're just like, oh, the reason why I'm feeling this way is because of this and this and this, and it stems from this and this. But that's not what you need at that moment. Right now, you need to sit in your feelings. You need to learn how to be uncomfortable with being wait. You need to have circle back. You need to learn how to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, it's uncomfortable to feel all your emotions, because who likes to feel like
A
really
mix
sad?
of those like
Yeah, and it's so confusing. Yeah. So
it's like even if you try to solve it, if you have many of these conflicting emotions, sadness, anger, like I don't know what other shit there is, but
yeah.
it's just so many layers that you can't like.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
It blows my mind how feelings work. Like sometimes you don't even know why you feel some type of way.
Yeah.
Look within.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's some days where you just wake up and you're like, I just don't
Don't feel good today.
I just don't feel good today. And you know what? Honestly, sometimes it's just better to just like accept that, you know what? Okay, I don't feel that great today.
I treat
And that's
myself for
fine.
something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make myself happy. Since
Yeah. You don't have to always intellectualize, oh my gosh, why am I feeling this way? Is it because this happened or that happened? It gets so exhausting after
It
a
is,
while
it
also.
is. And then you just become mentally exhausted but still feel those same emotions at the same
Yeah.
intensity. And it's
Yeah.
like, what was that for?
I think yeah. I think back then I probably thought that intellectualizing my emotions was I don't know if it's emotional maturity or emotional
I mean, I feel
intelligence?
like it.
Which one is it? Because emotional intelligence is like knowing how to read a room, knowing how to read social cues, you know, and understanding like
I feel like we should look this up. We should.
we should we should look this up.
We searched up what exactly the definitions of these are, and what we found online is that emotional maturity refers to overall emotional development and stability, whereas emotional intelligence involves the ability to recognize, understand, and manage one's own emotions and the emotions of others.
Yeah. So I think that's what it is. So I think back then when I would always intellectualize every single emotion that I was feeling, I would confuse that as being emotionally mature. Like I would think that, oh, this is how I validate my feelings, which I mean, I guess for maybe some people it actually helps them to dissect exactly the reasons why. I think it's fine to do that once you have felt your emotion. That's kind of how I deal with the way that I am feeling about every single obstacle or challenge that I come across. Like if there's something that makes me feel angry or frustrated or upset, I let my body react however it wants to, whether it's like crying or just like sitting in silence and just like zoning out or listening to music or whatever it is. And after that time has passed and I can be at a more logical and rational state to understand, okay, now let's sit down, let's think about why that affected me so much and why that triggered me so much. um so I wish if only I had that kind of mindset when I was being bullied at such an age, then maybe I would have not had as much of a traumatic, well, I wouldn't say it's like traumatic.
It is traumatic
It is
though.
traumatic, sorry. See, oh, I was invalidating my feelings. Sorry about that. Sorry
Yeah,
about
but this
that.
is not to say that when something like happens, you should just unleash
Yeah, no.
your emotions at
There's
on someone
emotional
else.
regulation for a reason.
And intelligence. So
And
actually, all of these need to
intelligence.
work together.
Yeah, they
But
need to
we,
work hand in
yeah,
hand.
and I feel like we only learn this once we are all older.
Yeah.
But actually, there's still some people who lack in this area.
Oh, so many.
And I actually don't know why, what's the reason, or maybe they just weren't confronted with this kind of like strong emotions and just like how to deal with all this, or like
Honestly, I
I'm
think
not sure what it was.
it's really, I feel like it's really about the people that they surround themselves with.
Yeah, it's just like the experiences.
Yeah, their
Yeah.
experiences and the circumstances that they're in, or yeah. And I feel like because we've kind of reached to this point now, because we are people and have surrounded ourselves by people who are not afraid to have these kind of conversations with each other and to be very open and honest about any like negative emotion that they're feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the downsides of being like this, like highly intelligent.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not saying we're highly intelligent, but I feel like we're pretty emotionally intelligent and like
Aware.
aware and all that stuff. People tend to use us as,
Therapists.
well, like if you want to get therapy, please pay for it. It's not free. We have this experience because we've been through shit.
Yeah, I feel like we often play the role of being therapists to other people because we ourselves have gone through all of that trauma that derived from bullying when we were younger.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
that's kind of how we are able to empathize even more with other people when they're feeling isolated or when they're feeling, yeah, like excluded from friend groups, or just like not understanding why um like people are reacting the way that we are, because I think we've had our own fair share of bullying experiences, not us being the bullies, but people bullying us. Just to be clear, have you ever been a bully? Yeah, same. I don't think I could.
I feel like I could
Am
be a
I?
pretty, like, I have a bully face though.
Because of your RBF.
I have a pretty
That's pretty. Yeah,
strong
that's true.
RBF. Like, I could totally. Oh my god! Like, I love it when people say that they're intimidated by me before they talk to
Ooh,
me.
I kind of like that.
I kind of like it. You
Yeah,
better be
yeah,
scared of
yeah,
me.
yeah.
Like, I'm a wild card. I could be like
No, yeah,
either.
yeah. You can choose whichever. You assess them first, and then and then you choose which one to give
Choose my
them.
character.
Choose your character. Choose your player.
Yeah, exactly. But I love it.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
god.
No, I literally love it.
Should be scared.
You should be afraid of me.
You should. Oh my god! But the other thing that I don't know if this is like another tangent.
Okay. No, it's fine. We're here to just explore whatever.
I'm losing my thought.
Okay, get it
And
back.
but it's because like I feel like I can empathize with people and understand the other side. I feel like whatever they did, I can understand why they did it. And then like I feel like I can't feel the way I feel because I get
yeah,
why
yeah, yeah.
they're
You
doing
get
it.
where they're coming from.
Yeah, and I don't know, like it really messes with my head because what you did to me is still bad,
Yeah,
even though I understand.
yeah.
Like, is it not unfair to me? Like, maybe I should just not be empathizing. It's not a superpower, it's a curse.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, so I understand that. This feels like therapy. Okay, but no, yeah. Like, no, I definitely understand what you mean. And that's just what happens when you're too emotionally aware
Yeah.
and empathetic.
Mm.
We're too much of an empath.
Please, no.
No, but yeah, I would definitely say that the reason why I know what I know now is also because I experienced bullying when
All
I was
that.
younger. Yeah, all of that. Like, I feel like I don't regret those things happening to me because it's a part of who I am now. It definitely caused, yeah, childhood trauma. That's where I got my anxious attachment from, my abandonment issues from, my what else is there? I have many issues.
No, but it's really, I feel like, people say that you don't know the value of happiness unless you've experienced like your own lows. And like
Yeah.
the highs really have like,
Yeah,
you see
yeah,
a difference and you
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And ironically, I feel like even though at that time when I was being isolated a lot and I was introverted, I think that's also, I owe it to that experience for being the reason why I'm also now just very comfortable with being by myself and being on my own, because I was able to find solace in me being by myself at that period in time and relying on no one else except for myself, knowing that I didn't have anyone else to lean on to except for me. So
Okay, so I still don't know who this person is, by the way. I have my own
time to
suspicions.
reveal yourself.
Yes.
Wait, so what happened?
No, so basically, okay, I have my own suspicions on who it was, but
is
it
this
was
someone I know?
yes, it is. But it's like it was in secondary school. It happened in sec 1 or sec 2, I can't remember. And then there was this person who made a hate account on Instagram and they started following all of my classmates. And then like they made like posts about like, isn't Charlie so annoying? Like she's always like talking like some shit like that. I mean, I was like shocked because I was like the underdog. Like, okay, not even underdog. Like that's not the right word. I was just like, I was a nobody. I was a corner in a room. Like I didn't bother.
Wallflower.
Yeah, I was a wallflower. Like I did not matter in those 2 years. So I don't know who the hell took the time to create this account and tag everybody like from my
Dude,
class.
that's crazy.
No, like if she just made the account and didn't tag anybody, it's like if only I saw it, I can see that nobody else saw it. And it's like, okay, whatever. But she's like tagging like the people I know and like of course my whole class. Like there's like 40 plus people.
Oh my god.
And I was so shocked about it because can you imagine like at that age too, like you're not like influential or like anything like where you expect
someone made
to
a hate account about you.
and I was a wallflower. I don't know what that was about, but I was really
How did you feel?
felt so scared.
Oh, you felt scared.
Oh
yeah, that is scary, 'cause, like,
Scared,
who the hell is
shocked, because
that?
I don't know who it was.
Yeah.
I think it was called anti.charvy or something. Okay, be more creative if you want to hate on me. Like, what is that?
What the
Like antivirus? Like, what is that? the most uncreative person I've ever met, if I know you, okay?
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah, and like what was heartwarming is that my classmates actually came to my defense and was like, you should not be doing this. Like, why are you creating this
They
kind
a
of
real
like
one.
hate and stuff like that? And the thing is, I was not close to like any of them, but they still like stood up for me. And I was like, oh, and then the person like deleted their account like a few days after.
God bless. Imagine being so hot and bothered about a person to the point where you would make a hate account.
I know, and like I had to still go to school when
That's
this was
crazy.
happening. And like knowing that people saw this, like definitely because they all tagged.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, what is that? Like, what's
Did
happening?
Did it impact the way that you saw yourself?
Actually, I feel like it was deleted within 1 or 2 days, and like people were coming to my defense, so I didn't feel as bad.
Yeah.
At first, the shock was real, but after that, it was fine. It didn't really impact me that much.
Okay.
If it was something that was like directly aimed at me, or like they're like exposing stuff that I told them about in like confidence and stuff like
Yeah.
that, then that would really like shake me to my core. But
Yeah.
otherwise, this was fine.
Okay. Dude.
But that was an experience that really
Oh my
added to
gosh,
my
I cannot believe that.
it added to my lore.
That's,
Wait, I swear I told you.
I don't remember.
Oh my god.
Short time memory, guys.
Cancel
I'm
her.
sorry. Right, I make a
Anti.Chelsea.
Honestly, I would feel why
I
would
feel
I
honored?
low-key feel honored? Because like you know the process of making a post, right? It's like you had to go on the app, you have to click on the plus sign, then you have to choose a photo, angle the photo, come up with a caption for it, and then tag
all the
everyone.
people. Yeah.
That's so much effort. Like you're putting
Thanks,
that much
girl.
effort. Thank you.
Didn't know I mattered that much to you.
It's like a
but
marketing page for me at
Thank
that
you.
point. Thank
like
you
bad
so much.
publicity is still publicity. Like thanks for the views or the likes or whatever.
Okay, so now I think that this is the perfect time for us to talk about our insecurities. Since you kind of like tapped on a little bit of that earlier already.
But like
Do you think that because of the bullying, it made you insecure in certain aspects or things about yourself? I would say that for me, I don't remember. Okay, once again, because it happened in primary school, so I don't specifically remember. But I do remember people making fun of my height. So I'm not gonna tell you how tall I am, but I'm freaking short.
oh my god, comment
I am
down below if you think she's tall or taller or tall.
Thank you so much for making me feel so good about my height.
Hey,
Oh.
everybody is tall.
Shut up.
This is
No, literally, people like okay, so like people always say that it's so funny when they see me and Charvi like walking around together because she's like it's like the tallest. Okay, in our CCA, she was like the tallest girl, and I was like the shortest girl in our CCA.
no, when you
So
put it
imagine-
like, when you put it like that.
So it's like it was so. No, I remember someone pointing that out, but I do feel like until now I'm still pretty insecure about my height. It's definitely not as prevalent as it was when I was younger because people kept making so many comments about it. And you know, when you're a kid, no filter, you just like, oh my god, you're so small, you're so
They
tiny.
still do that though to you.
Yeah, they do.
They're like,
but
oh
then,
my god, you're so cute. Like,
yeah, but they say it in like a more endearing way now. It's like, oh, you're so small. But back then they were
Yeah.
like, you're like short. You're so short.
that means that in the class photo you would have been like sitting down.
Yes.
Were you in the middle?
No, I was always at the side because I was always the shortest.
I
You know,
thought the
'cause they will
shortest
always
people
put-
would be in the middle.
No,
What?
no, because we will queue up as like the shortest to the tallest, right?
Yeah.
I was always the first or second. So
Oh.
the first, so then they will cut.
Oh, okay.
They will cut you like they will cut. No, they will. What's the word? They will put you guys in the sections. You know,
Yeah,
the front
yeah.
row and then the second row. So whenever I was at the front, I would always be the first one to walk, to the very end of the row.
Damn,
So I'll always be
okay.
at the end.
Actually, I'm so like happy that I was not one of the ones sitting because like
How did that feel?
the legs. No, but you can see the legs.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And I did not like that. Like, why are my calves in the photo?
Yeah, so I felt like because the way that people were pointing it out so much when I was younger, I started to get this I mean, it's kind of also a societal expectation or standard, I guess, that if you the taller you are, the more attractive you are. So because I was always the shortest person in almost every social situation I was ever in, um I always just felt like I was less than or inferior to everyone else. And it felt like that for a long time when I was younger. Yeah, so we were also at a point where everyone's growth spurts were growth spurting. You know what I mean? Yeah. So oh, I even remember there was this one incident where one of my friends, she well, obviously like all my friends are much taller than I am. So there was one time where she just kept making fun of my height to the point where I was so fed up, I bitch slapped her. I literally just slapped her. Okay, it wasn't like a
She didn't
a
pull it
full on
back.
slap. No, I didn't pull it back.
She did
There
not
was
like
no
wind it up and like really commits to the slap.
I was still pretty nice about it. I was
Yeah,
nice.
but
It was a nice bitch
it's
slap.
ironic because
Yeah.
you're being nice, but you slap someone.
It was a nice bitch slap. It was like a
That's just a slap. That's
It was
just
just a slap.
tap.
It
Oh
was
my
a
god, it rhymes.
It's a bitch tap.
Where's the bitch if you're nice?
A nice bitch.
Um,
No, but yeah.
I
So
wish I could bitch slap people.
no, if it was socially acceptable, I think you'd be bitch slapping
But
people left and right.
winding it up
Winding
so
it
far back. Just someone please give me a reason to just
I think
let me
people have
accomplish
given
my
you-
dreams. Please, I just
Everyone
wanna...
has given you reasons. Let's be.
But it's
let's
not
be,
enough to fuel that fire within me.
Really?
I just like wind it up. You know
Wind
what
it
I
up.
mean?
No, but yeah. So I was just so fed up with her, like constantly making fun of my height, to the point where I just couldn't take it. And you know what? No, but I think that now that we're all much older and everyone's a lot more mature, thankfully, I don't receive such comments about it. If anything, it's just like it's a fact. It's like, oh, you're shorter than I thought that you would be.
I don't know if that's better or worse.
No, but
Okay,
I
at least
don't
I'm not
take it.
actively,
Okay, but
like-
I don't take it anymore. I don't take it as like an insult anymore. It's like, yeah. In fact, I kind of
And
do.
what about it?
And what about it? And you know what? When people say that, it kind of just means that you give tall people energy. Isn't that kind of a good thing?
Like big dick energy.
Yeah. That's kind of because even like there are even people who are like tall, but they give such small dick energy.
I know.
You know what I mean?
It's
It's kind of
sad.
pathetic.
Stop.
Just stop. Just be tall and act,
Act
tall.
tall. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's another insecurity that you think that you have or had? I don't know.
So for me, I feel like I'm a bit different from you because when I was younger, I didn't really feel like I had like much insecurities because I was more of like that. I don't
Oh,
really
okay, I love that for you.
yeah, and it's just like I didn't really give a shit that much. I was just really focused on making friends and just
Yeah.
like having a good time and like didn't really worry about anything else.
Mm.
But the one thing that I was like insecure about, and it's really sad, it's that it was my race. And I mean, as a minority, it's kind of like expected, but I feel like discrimination against Indians is like very prevalent in especially in a school setting because people will not like want to be friends with you or anything.
Yeah.
For me, it wasn't very extreme, but I do remember like until to this day, like there was some situations where people would accidentally touch me, and then they would wipe their hands on.
Foul behavior.
I know it was so bad. I'm like,
No.
they would wipe their hands on like their pants or like their
Oh my
whatever. It
god.
doesn't really matter, but it's like. I don't know if they think that I can't see it, but I can, and it makes me feel like I'm less than. Like,
Yeah.
like, what is that behavior? Like, you didn't touch like shit or something. Like, why are you wiping your hand? That's
Oh
so.
my god, that's so disrespectful.
Yeah, and as a child, like that really impacted me. And
Yeah.
there's always casual racism that's present
Yes.
too, and it's like
Yeah.
sometimes like you feel like you can't call it out because it's like not that big of a deal, and like
Yeah.
if you do call it out, it's like why are you being so like I didn't mean anything by that. That was a joke. But if it was a joke, it should be funny.
Yeah.
What is that?
This is not even funny, it's just offensive.
Yeah, and
just
people
offensive
think
at
it's
this
not
point.
like offensive or anything,
Yeah.
and people think like I overreact. Like I will call it out if I see it. I will call it out.
Yeah.
And it's
yeah.
like not my problem if you take it a different way or anything. It's like you should reflect on yourself and like ask yourself why you even say these kind of things.
Yeah. Why do you
Without,
even think that it's acceptable for you to say such
I
things?
know, it's just that people
You
have
know?
enabled them to say this kind of stuff, and it just, yeah. But now I wear my race as like a badge. I don't
Okay, yeah,
know.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense,
Like
but
a
like I'm,
badge.
yes. So like I feel like I'm pretty proud of my where I'm from and all of that. So right now
Yeah,
it does
as you
not really, like
should.
it does not bother me now when people say it, because I will just straight up be like, you shouldn't say that. Like that's not okay.
That's not okay. That's not acceptable.
Yeah, but when you're younger, like in social situations, like you wouldn't want to say this kind of thing sometimes, because like maybe they don't want to be friends with you after that, or
Yeah.
like the whole thing
You're
again.
at a very
You're at a
vulnerable
disadvantage
yeah,
already.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if like you call these things out, then you'll be at a further disadvantage.
Mm.
So yeah, that was like kind of my insecurity back then.
So to add on to that, I actually have experiences of seeing a lot of my Indian classmates back in primary school being mistreated and being bullied just because they're of the minority race. And every single time that happened, it gave me even more reason to be friends with them. so
Yeah.
so like in primary school, every single year I would always be friends with another underdog in the class. So I think in primary 3 there was this girl who everyone made fun of, and they said that, oh, she smells like pee, I'm not gonna be friends with her, don't sit close to her. So it gave me even more motivation. Okay, I know it sounds kind of bad, because it sounds kind of bad now, because it makes it seem as if like I only became friends with that person just to get back at the other, just to get back at other people. But it was only genuinely because I know what it feels like to be isolated. I know what it feels like to be excluded out of social situations. So I felt even more drawn to someone else who understands that feeling. So I became friends with that girl, and she ended up being so funny and so sweet. And I was like, y'all are just missing out on y'all really just be missing out on this dynamite person.
It's almost like the opposite of the halo effect.
What's the halo effect?
It's like when you see like a super attractive person, just deem them as like
Oh,
a perfect
yeah,
person.
yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah.
funny, they're
Because
smart.
visually they
I don't know
look.
if it's the opposite of the halo effect, but halo sounds so positive.
Yeah, it sounds like an angel.
Yeah, but it's like when they see like a person of a minority race, like use like attributes.
Like stereotypes.
Yeah, those, and then they just
Right.
like make all the assumptions of that person, and that's
Yeah.
just like so.
It's so disrespectful, and it is, yeah, it's very disrespectful, and it is very damaging to your perception of anyone who is remotely different from you or everyone
Exactly.
else. Because you automatically just think that, oh, I don't really see much of this person, so I'm just gonna mistreat them because they're not like everyone else.
They're
So
not like me. And people, they say like people treat something a certain way because they're scared of it. Like they don't know, because like they're different from you.
right.
And it's like kind of like almost the fear of not being the same, like fear of something different.
Yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah,
they
yeah,
treat
yeah,
you
yeah.
a different way.
Yeah.
But come on, man. We're in a
Everyone's-
progressive
oh my God.
society. Stop.
Yeah.
What are
Stop
these?
it.
Stop.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it.
Literally.
Put a stop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so every single year I always just find myself ending up being friends with the other underdogs in my class. And they happen to be one of the most meaningful friendships that, even though unfortunately I'm no longer in contact with, they definitely made my life back then so much happier and more peaceful, even if that meant I only had like one friend per year.
A friend is a friend.
A friend is a friend, and I'll take it. I'll take what I can get.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah. No, literally. So, yeah, like I think that it is all the insecurities that we have put out is just a few on my list, at least. There are always going to be things that I will feel insecure about. I mean, it's only part of the human experience.
Maybe like in another episode we can touch more on this.
Yeah.
But I feel like we have yapped yet again way too much.
We are professional yappers. I
Yes.
swear. I can't.
Yeah, so
Yeah, so I think that pretty much wraps up this episode. We'll definitely talk more about insecurities and how we overcame them, and maybe even talk about like how we became even more confident after that.
Yeah.
Dealing with insecurities and
Confidence.
confidence and stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast episode. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, like this
And
video,
share.
and share.
You forgot that one.
Please.
And follow us on TikTok
And Instagram. And if you're listening on Spotify, thanks.
thank you for your support, guys.
Thank you so much for your support. And yeah, we'll see you guys in our next video, in our next episode.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye, guys.